Welcome back to BWO Daily, your source for news in sports entertainment and the world of professional wrestling from you boys at Busted Wide Open. My name is Nick Howell.
And I am Sir Ian Dangerous. And today, news came out that DDP may have had COVID. That's right. He actually tweeted out, he actually was interviewed about it, and he said that he may have had it even though he tested negative. Apparently, he and a couple of his daughters went to a bridal shower, and then they started feeling kind of sick 2 or 3 days later, had a bunch of symptoms, felt awful, and he was thinking I tested negative. Maybe it wasn't COVID, except that we all got it, and we all kind of felt like crap. And the reason that he thinks he may now have had it is because fellow AEW employee QT Marshall tested positive. Remember, QT was sent home a few weeks ago because of a possible potential positive test around the same time that Renee Young got tested positive and Jon Moxley stayed home with her. Well, QT got sent home. He apparently did actually test positive, and so did his wife did not. He tested positive. His wife did not. He had about 3 days of symptoms, according to DDP, and his wife, Caroline, came up negative, but she had one symptom after another, throwing up to freezing to everything is what they were saying. So DDP now thinks he may have the testing just might not be able to catch everything, and that he may have had COVID as well.
Maybe you just had the flu. You know, there's more things out there to catch than COVID.
True. That being said, everyone is kind of paranoid about it, and as long as he took precautions, better safe than sorry. But it also kind of goes to show just because, you tested negative doesn't mean you can go out there and not wear a mask and cough on someone's spaghetti.
Maybe stay away from the catered lobster bisque at the bridal showers,
Right, exactly. Cover your face when you sneeze.
Right.
Yeah, wear a mask. So best wishes. I think everyone's recovering there, so they're hopefully on the mend. Fingers crossed. It's scary times, Nick. It's scary times.
Yeah.
It's also scary times for Hall of Famer Tammy Sytch.
Oh, boy.
Formerly known as Sunny. Yeah, brace yourself. Tammy Sytch is back in police custody. She was arrested for eluding a police officer, contempt and violating her domestic violence restraining order, operating a motor vehicle during a second license suspension, and contempt and violating her domestic violence restraining order on a second count. So if you're out there and you're not sure why we're chuckling right now at the fact that Sunny was arrested, it's because Sunny has a little bit of a history of getting arrested. Take a walk with me for a moment here along Tammy's arrest record. In 2012, she was arrested five times within a 4-week span for third-degree burglary, violating a protective order, and disorderly conduct. She violated that protective order in 2013 and served 113 days in jail. In 2015, she was arrested 3 times in Pennsylvania for DUI, which she pled guilty to. In 2016, in January, she was ordered to spend 90 days in jail after pleading guilty to driving under suspension. She was then released after spending 100 days in rehab. And then later in 2016, she violated parole from the 2015 DUI cases and stayed in jail and was released in February 2017, where she was placed on probation afterwards, but then got a DUI twice within a 2-week period. And then she was also charged with fleeing the scene of an accident in relation to the second DUI. Never showed up for court, and then arrested later that month for 6 counts of contempt of court and 2 fugitive of justice charges. During that processing, they found out that she was actually a fugitive of justice because of her revoked parole from 2017 in Pennsylvania. She was then taken to Pennsylvania, and she stayed in prison there until being paroled in October 2018. And then February of last year, 2019, they issued a bench warrant for her in Pennsylvania because of a motion to revoke her October 2018 parole because she didn't pay restitution for the state's legal case, which she was compelled to do. And then later in February, she was arrested for another DUI. That's 3. That's numero tres, as well as other driving offenses, whatever those were. It was later revealed that she had all those outstanding warrants, and she was charged with contempt of court, resistance of court command, and then she was extradited to a county correctional facility in Pennsylvania, and then stayed 11 months in jail. Got out in February of this year, and then started a lovely OnlyFans page, which you can go check out and give her lots of money for. And it's all she tweets about.
By God.
All she tweets about until June 2nd of this year, where she tweeted about all of the civil unrest that was going on. She said, "I'm not out there looting and setting things on fire. A DUI does not make you a criminal."
Point of order.
That's the story of Tammy Sytch.
I've actually been hit head on by a drunk driver. Luckily, I was in a giant SUV, and I was at a stoplight, and it didn't matter, but it was dude's third DUI. He was swimming in vodka, literally, and went to jail.
It was like a pool in his car or something full of vodka?
I mean, he came out, and he might as well have been a skin sack of vodka. He had so much vodka in him. Anyway, there was court. There were handcuffs.
Yeah.
There was jail time. I promise you're a criminal, and a DUI makes you a criminal. So I think being a fugitive of justice makes you more of a criminal than getting a DUI. I will agree with you, Sonny. But holy smokes,
she's got a couple of different criminal offenses we could look at here is the bottom line. But again, once again, this woman cannot stay out of the way of the cops. Once again in jail. No idea what the punishment will be for this. We'll keep an eye on it. But honestly, after all of these interactions with the law, one has to assume at some point, I know it's not how it actually works. This is America. But at some point, you'd hope they throw the book at her.
The last thing I want to say about this real quick is we're joking, we're laughing around a little bit, but it's not cool. The number of DUIs this woman has had means that she's going around basically driving drunk all the time when she's not in jail.
Or just not giving a crap about the law.
Well,
as well. And like not
it's not okay to be out there driving around drunk and potentially killing somebody or their children or both. So we're making light of this to an extent because of the sordid history of Sonny.
Good Lord.
But just over the last, Jesus, it's been 8 years. Good God.
It's just in the last 8 years.
Please don't drink and drive. We've got Uber and Lyft now. There's no excuse for it anymore.
So the lessons so far on the new show today:
wear a mask, don't drive drunk.
Don't drive drunk, and don't try to evade the cops. If you
welcome to our professional wrestling channel.
You've got 8 years of evading cops and trying to get away from the legal system. Don't.
Yeah.
Oh God, don't.
And calm down, JR.
Just don't. Speaking of wearing masks, one of the reasons why you see a lot of masks in the WWE right now, it has now been revealed, we've mentioned on the news show before, that some returning WWE star had basically held WWE's feet to the fire and helped them institute their mask policy, which includes fines for wrestlers who don't wear masks or people who don't wear masks in the facility. That person's now been revealed to be Kevin Owens. In an interview with Sports Illustrated, he talked about the fact that his wife lost her grandfather to COVID, and he would not come back to work as a result. He and his wife make their decisions together. And he said, "I'm not going to come back unless I feel like it's safe to come back. I want to make sure that she feels safe and that my children are safe," he said. When he came back, he said he didn't feel the masks were being taken seriously enough by WWE. Vince asked Kevin if they should institute a fine for people who didn't wear masks, and Kevin said yes. And the reason he said that was, Vince, I swore on SmackDown one time, and you fined me. And you know what? I haven't done it since. Hit him in the wallet, make it happen. So he felt like it wasn't being taken seriously. He talked to the people in charge, Vince, everybody else, and got it done. He felt like they did it immediately. He didn't blame anybody for the situation because he felt like a lot of people have different opinions about whether it works or not. And he said, I don't care if people believe they don't work. Better to be safe than sorry.
Sure.
The worst thing that can happen is they work, or they don't work. If they don't work, then we're just being cautious, essentially.
Right.
So that was his feeling on it. He only felt like safety coming back if people were doing it. But he says now he feels comfortable going back to work, and he feels as safe as he can be in WWE because of the policies that they instituted when he asked them to. So
good.
Props to Kevin Owens for standing up for that and getting them to make some positive change. I think it also probably helped that he held their feet to that fire around the time that they got a lot of cases pop up suddenly when they started actually, really testing people and not just holding a thermometer to their forehead. I think that probably helped because they were probably scrambling going, what do we do from a public perception place? Like, how do we look good doing this? Like, how do we fix this?
Right.
And Kevin Owens coming along and saying, you could just force everyone to wear a mask.
Have you seen what they're doing in Japan? They've got like less than 1,000 cases. You know why? They're all wearing masks.
They have 327 active cases.
New Zealand, they've declared their
Zero.
virus free.
Zero. Yeah, they actually listened to
They all wear
scientists
masks.
over there and followed their advice. It's crazy. Who would have ever thought by following people that actually research these things and know what they're talking about, we could actually do something? Hey, it's wild. In case you didn't know, people,
did you watch the New Japan Cup in Dominion this weekend? They had crowds back, Vince.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Vince wanted to be the first guy to come back with a crowd, and he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. And he's in Florida, which is right now probably the worst place to be in the U.S.
Yep.
For increasing cases, but good times. But anyway, as we were saying, DDP, Kevin Owens say, wear your mask. And who are you to say no to DDP and Kevin Owens? So Nick, before we get out of here, some happy birthdays. Woo! Happy birthday, Charly Caruso, turning 33. Fantastic addition to the commentary, to the interview team over in WWE.
I'm very excited that last night on Raw, she appears to have affection for large bearded men, and I went, oh, really?
Nick, you've watched enough of the show to know that she's really an Angel Garza. In fact, you might call her Charlie's Angel.
Well, okay.
Yeah, she's a Charlie's Angel.
We'll talk about that more tonight on our live stream.
I'll work on that one. Jeff Jarrett is turning 54 years old today. Happy birthday to Jeff Jarrett. Bubba Ray Dudley, testify. He's turning 49 years old. And also, happy birthday, Dude Love. The character debuted 23 years ago today, and he immediately won the tag team titles with Stone Cold Steve Austin, beating Owen Hart and the British Bulldog for the titles. So happy birthday, to Dude Love. Oh, have mercy. And that is the news.
Well, thank you, Surrey and Dangerous. Happy birthday to everybody, and anniversary, I guess, to Dude Love.
Birthday of the character. I know he was around since Mick was a kid, but he's still he debuted as a character on Raw.
Right.
That's the birth of the character.
Right.
Birth of the character.
Well, thank you very much, Surrey and Dangerous. Thank you guys for tuning in to yet another episode of BWO Daily. Sorry we keep talking about masks and
the state of the world,
non-wrestling stuff, but it's the news. It's what's going on right now in the world of professional wrestling. So we want to keep you guys up to date on it. Make sure you're subscribed here to the channel. Got your notifications set to all. Make sure you find our link to our Discord community and other social media stuff down in the description below. But my name is Nick Howell. You can find me on Twitter at DataCenterDude.
And I am Sir Ian Dangerous. You can find me on Twitter at Sir Ian Dangerous.
And we will see you guys next time.